Hey, it's me, I'm back again from my vacation. And I'm no longer sick or anything like that, which is wonderful. But summer has come, which means it's horribly hot here. And so I have to have a window open, which means you may hear some strange noises. Oops. Oh, and now you can see my cosplay avatar again. So I can pretend to be Lakium instead of Solakium. My trip, well, it went well, as expected. I went to a lot of interesting museums and I took a lot of pictures. And I was thinking maybe I should have some kind of presentation so that I can show off my pictures. I'm not a very good photographer, I haven't practiced that too much. But, well, they are pictures and I may have stories. In Vienna, it was sunny and there was also thunder, which was nice. And for today, I thought I might actually paint digital painting for this stream, but it's actually back to work time. I have been at work since I came back, and it's stressful and I'm tired. I don't know if I have spoke. I think my alignment started from here and it moved there. What was I talking about? Stress? Work? What else? Can't remember anymore. I got distracted. I have my people. They are something. I have spells. What's going on? Lindsay's journal. Prove your worth. Amiri wants to kill mighty monsters. Harry wants to see a dwarven ruin. And how to build a kingdom. Maybe this is the main quest for this part. While the Baroness was busy with the council, sad news arrived from the capital. The last good barn fell apart. A replacement needs to be constructed quickly before the neighbors give the settlement the humiliating name of the Great Ruins. How do I do that? I have so much to learn in this game. So last time we killed this Stag Lord in this game. We killed the Stag Lord and we got crowned. Do you call it crowning when you just become a baroness, not an actual king or queen or anything like that? Is it a crown? I don't think so. But anyway, as now I have just become a baroness, and there was also some little time skipping because there was this menu thing where you had to do these kingdom management things, and I didn't know that time would pass so quickly, so easily, when I just clicked something. So that happened. I hoped I hope that there hasn't been too much time. Then there's this ancient curse. Oh yeah, Jordan Tristian told that there is some kind of curse. In just 1 month. Oh heck. So there's the... That's something I need to do as fast as... Oh, I can't do anything before the development, I guess. Alas, there's nothing we can do right now but to prepare ourselves and the barony. The curse will strike around the time it reaches the power limit. We need to get ready to repel any sort of attack. So there will be an attack? I see. Or do I? And this is appoint one of the advisors the treasurer. Oh yeah, I couldn't appoint the treasurer because nobody was available. Do such mortals even exist? Oh, and the court alchemist. Okay. This is all the information I have now. And this is my drone. Oh, and there is Slander. Let's talk to him. I have no recollection of how I thought he would speak. A tall young man of about 17 stands before you. He's athletic, and his composure and bearing hint at nobility. A faint smile curves his lips, but his gaze remains cold and examining. As you approach, Lander stops studying his fingernails, his broad smile revealing a brilliant white teeth. Ah, greetings! um, what do I want to... Lander, I know you're of some kind of nobility, but maybe you should address me properly. Greetings, Your Grace. Oh, apologies. Just where are my manners today? Lander laughs, still with no mention of your title. I must have my head in the clouds today. How do you like being regent? It gives me great satisfaction, Your Grace. The very thought of how much I influence the barony. Ah, but you must be asking after my responsibilities. All matters are well in hand, and by no means do they hamper my other affairs. Good, I guess. Any advice for me, Lander? I've met Kesten Garrus before. He was an amiable, gregarious man. Not at all like he is now, Lander sighs. No, he's a broken man, and I don't consider it wise to trust broken people with important positions. I wonder why. I'd like to learn more about you, Lander. Me? But I'm such a bore, Lander huffs indignantly, though he's clearly flattered by your attention. What would you like to know? Well, tell me about your family. Would you? House Lepeda is considered one of the most influential in Brevoy, and rightfully so. We own the fertile lands around Lake Rakehall and the castle of Silverhall. Silverhall? An impressive structure, famous well beyond Brevoy's borders. We also control a significant amount of the lake and river shipping trade in the region. So you're rich, as if that wasn't obvious before. And if it's my family that's of interest to you, my father passed away long ago. My mother spent years attempting to marry my sister Elana off to our beloved king Noleski Surtova. As for myself, well, the family remembers I exist on the rare, or not so rare occasion when I end up causing everyone trouble. Landa gives a disarming smile. Oh, sounds familiar. Just like my family. And if it wasn't clear, I am speaking as Lakium. So, judging by that story, it seems no one is truly close to you, Lander. Close relations are a luxury that some people can't afford. Lander looks away for a moment before continuing. I once became close to a man I considered to be a mentor and a friend. I later learned that he'd been using me to acquire information on my house's caravans for some local bandits. I learned much from that experience, and so I shall watch your entourage with a keen eye. I won't allow any untrustworthy or suspicious people to go unnoticed. You can trust me on that. Well, if I can trust on if I can trust you, then maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. So, Lander, what do you value most in people? Decisiveness, Lander answers immediately, then adds, well, sensible decisiveness. I've no taste for those who sit and mumble all day when the time to act has come, nor for those who rush in without consideration or planning. He is so ambitious. Lander, you came of age 2 years ago. Why, Lebeda, are you still heir to the throne and not sitting upon it yourself? Heir to the throne? What is this? I have not heard about this. Well, a throne is a curious thing. It owns you more than you own it. My mother bent over backwards to draw me in the possession of my father's legacy, but I would like Lander to really see and do something in this world before he becomes Lord Lebeda. You will return home eventually, won't you? Of course. Can't let the throne sit empty after all, especially not one so wealthy. Lander's eyes gleam. I will return, someday, but for today, my house can wait. Well, I hope your house won't become my enemy, but I would imagine it would probably do that because of story purposes. It's more interesting that way, isn't it? Let's return to this conversation later. Why not? I need to discuss politics and affairs of the barony with you, Lander. Always glad to provide counsel, Lander smiles. So, what's going on between the royal house Surtova and the Aldore Sword Lords? To be blunt, sly schemers battling for power against stubborn blusterers? Long ago, both of them ruled a kingdom of their own. The Surtovas ruled over Isia and the Aldori swordlords over Rustland. Then Coral Rogavia came in with his dragons and made it abundantly clear to everyone that everything they saw around them was his. Okay. Who do you think ran quickest to express their deep devotion and loyalty? It certainly wasn't the Aldori. They fought to the last, and they almost died out as a result. How sad. Over the next 2 centuries, the Surtovas squeezed everything they could from the benevolence of their rulers, and now, after the vanishing of the Rogarbia line, Noleski Surtova has seized the throne. But the Surtovas owe blood debt to half of Privoi. It will prove difficult for them to hold on to that power. This makes them paranoid. They see enemies everywhere, and the Aldori are no exception. Rogarvia. So, Lander, what do you think? What's my barony's role in the Surtova-Aldori conflict? I'm certain they'll keep trying to win my support. Or will they? Will they just destroy me instead? The Aldori are brave and senseless. You're more likely to pull them out of trouble than be their one receiving aid. And the Surtovas are smart, but they'll gladly sell you out if they see profit in it. They are also unbearably boring, all of which means you made a wise decision when you picked me as your ally. Lander smiles. I wouldn't pander to either of them, but I'd also avoid angering either of them until there's good cause. Okay. What can you tell me of the river kingdoms? Have you ever seen a jar full of spiders? No. It's much the same, only on a greater scale. A plethora of small nations and city-states that form spontaneously and dissipate just as rapidly. Nevertheless, there are those that could potentially pose a serious threat or become a promising ally. Pitax makes a fine example here. Oh yeah. So we will have to deal with Pitax, I guess. That's enough business for now. Of course, Landonots. The world is plenty interesting even without politics, wouldn't you say? Well, I guess we'll speak later. Who do we have? We have Tiger. Oh yeah, I named my barony Solakilandia. uh, Look, what's that? It's my book stash. It's nice that it's here. I'm overloaded. That sucks. But maybe it's fine. I need to sell stuff and buy stuff. And let's talk to Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay. Just a moment. I got something. Lindsay quickly scribbles something in her notebook, then raises her eyes and smiles at you. Hi. Tell me about yourself. I guess there's nothing new. So Lindsay was from Pitax. Just don't leave without me. Of course, I could just write whatever you tell me, but if I wanted to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd still be sleeping through the lectures at the academy. Where she got kicked out. Guess then, hello.
How may I serve you, Your Grace?
He speaks. What did you do to be exiled? I believe I have a right to know.
Fair enough. For a Goress, the prosperity of the house and the honor of the name stands above all else. And I was betrothed to a widow from another noble house. This union was of great importance to the family. However, 3 months before the wedding, I met a commoner girl, gentle and pure, and we fell in love. I would have rather died than leave my Tanya. So I decided to break off the engagement with my noble bride. I could never have expected what would follow.
What a dumb guy. Oh, the doodle. Hi. Yes, I'm back. I survived. Even though they spoke a lot of German and I don't know enough German.
My father was furious. I'd set a pointless love affair above the interests of the house. He expelled me from the family and ordered to leave our lands under threat of death. And Tanya, her mother was seriously ill, and she stayed behind to care for her rather than follow me into exile. Thus, I was on my own, disgraced, without a name, and without love.
Oh, cool. I can understand some German, but not nearly enough to get by. I actually started reading Harry Potter in German after the trip, so that I could improve a little bit, but I haven't finished the first chapter yet. Ein Cola bitte. Yeah, there was also like I was buying stamps from a post office, so I had to wait for my turn at the counter. So there was this lady who was doing some paperwork thing. I don't know, she was trying to fill up something. But then she came over to me and started speaking to me in German, and I guess she was wondering about the papers, and I didn't understand like almost anything what she was saying. So I was like, ich verstehe nicht. And she was like, sprechen Sie nicht Deutsch? And I was like, and then she left. It was scary. Yeah. Some weird foreigner coming to Austria without even speaking German.
Don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve.
How have you been when I was away, Didoodle? Has anything interesting happened? At my workplace, nothing interesting happened, and nothing interesting really here. Otherwise, except summer has come, and I have to keep my window open, and there may be some weird noises because of that. Too hot. Okay, Kesten. If I were to offer you a public position, what job would you like to do?
I believe I can manage to uphold the law. Being a warden would suit me well.
Really, Kesten? Well, I'll see you later. Farewell. Why can't I speak to the kitty? That's sad. Also, in Vienna, I met this cat. She came from some store or something. And she was black and very cute, and she let me pet her. It was wonderful. Long live the Baroness. Yes, I want to live long and prosper. Do we have anyone else here? Storyteller? Who's that? Looks like an elf. Hello there, elf. The man standing before you resembles an elf, but a very old one. His face is wrinkled, and his beard is as white as mountain snow. The man seems to be completely blind. I think somebody mentioned him in the last play session, but it's been such a long time since then. The old man stares past you with unseeing eyes. He seems to be consumed in his thoughts. He mutters a soft melody, swaying back and forth slightly to its rhythm. Maybe he's coming here with the curse. Oh no. The man shudders briefly and stops singing. His mouth opens and closes a few times, bringing to mind a fish brought ashore. Ah, who is there? Is that you, your grace? Yes, it is. I'm your grace. I wouldn't say like, how could you tell it was me? He's asking if it's me. He's not sure. So, who are you, mister? I am an elf from Kionin. My name is not important. I am the storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. Are you that old? The man smiles, but it doesn't seem to be directed toward you. Who is he smiling at? How dares he not smile at me? Long ago, I was a smith in Kionin. The fire of the forge has burnt out my eyes, but I am grateful for it. Who would be grateful for that? If I could see, I would yet forge suits of armor for Iadara's gods. Instead, I have stepped on the path of an adventurer and gatherer of ancient legends. A blind adventurer. Isn't it dangerous to adventure if you don't see? The old man ponders silently for a moment. Many peoples are long dead, their homes crumbled to dust, and their bodies turned to ash. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. I don't want a demise, please. I have always been drawn to the stolen lands, where countless expeditions, armies, and even kingdoms have met their untimely ends. When I learned of a new barony being founded in the heart of these lands, I knew I wanted to be part of its story, so I made the journey here. Are you really an elf? Do other elves age like you have? A common question. Despite my unusual looks, I am an elf. And an old one, yes. Perhaps older than any other elf of Kionin. However, I doubt my age alone is responsible for my appearance. Really? I keep the stories of many people and races, some forever gone from the face of Golarion, but they live on in my memory and my heart. When I accept a new story, I lock it within myself, bearing the weight of its words and the emotions they evoke. I, yes, it has been a long time since I was traveling and not being a baron. There were so many fancy houses in Vienna that I could have felt like a baron if there weren't so many other people. But there were so many people, and the Austrians, they smoke so much, it was horrible. But the museums were really nice. I liked them. I sometimes think that I probably should have died long ago, but some incomprehensible force is keeping me alive and granting me the ability to continue my quest to gather stories. But be it divine power or fell curse, I am grateful either way. And so, storyteller, how could you tell it was me? The old man smiled slightly. It is not so hard to recognize a ruler by the way she walks. No one in here steps as confidently as you, your grace. I haven't been, I haven't been your grace for, I have only been your grace for a week or so, I think. I'm not sure though. Alright, would you care to trade stories with me? The man's voice rustles like autumn leaves. I am a collector, not a trader. If I share a story with you, you receive the power to pass it further, changing or embellishing it, whether willingly or not. Can I be certain you will keep my stories intact in their absolute purity? The storyteller ponders for several moments. No, I do not think so. At least, not yet. Well, can I do that at some point? Or will you tell me all the things on my deathbed or something like that? That's horrible. These legends are the most precious, valuable of this world, the last remnants of ancient tribes. They are beacons illuminating the way to the past, allowing us to meet generations long gone. I cannot let their light fade. The path to the past must not be lost. The old man thinks for a moment, then continues. But I can offer you a deal, Your Grace. If on your journeys you discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me. And if my eyes can see the stories that these relics hold, I will gladly share them with you. But you are blind. How could your eyes see anything? Maybe you should have explained that first. And if you find all the pieces of any ancient artifacts, I can even recall my smithing skills to unite them and restore their power. Oh, that's cool. Also, I need a wise advisor at my court. Would you like to serve me in matters of state? The storyteller's voice grows soft. Thank you for your words. I am unlikely to be able to interpret the intricacies of the political world or the affairs of the treasury, but my advice regarding the magic of the arts would be useful to any ruler. Nice. I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? The storyteller gently touches the items from your pack. Ooh. This scorched piece of metal is a part of a curious artifact, known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it, I sense a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. Remember me, should you find anything noteworthy. I've brought some relics. Are any worthy of a story? The storyteller's eyebrows raise. How interesting! May I, your grace? He gently touches the items from your bag. Oh, a coin from a non-existent country. When Coral the Conqueror mastered Rosland, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance and use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and the Aldori swordlords were required to use new coins decorated with Coral's profile. But no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins, oh no. In many houses they still store boxes and hold chests of such coins, waiting for the day when Rostland declares its independence. He took my coin. How could he? How dare he? But at least he gave me some gold coins. The storyteller's fingers caressed the symbol shaped like a tree leaf. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it from you. Can I just bring all of them to him? I don't know. The storyteller waits the soldier's tag in his palm. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. This tag belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Dalden Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. I didn't permit it. He just did it. Ah, the belongings of brave heroes who performed their feats here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story. These lands took many lives and spawned many legends. I can now tell you of a distant expedition undertaken by a group of brave heroes to a place known as the Drowned Trees. I would be happy to trade the whole set of items for their story. Can you hear it calling to us? Let us hurry. Well, tell me about the drowned trees. He took my stuff. I hear roadblocks creaking, river water splashing, bushes rustling, and arrows singing through the air. I feel an invisible will, a cold resolution to finish what's been started, no matter the cost. My chain armor clings to my body, and my young hands grip a sword tightly. I am the leader of a group of brave souls set off to the stolen lands to clear them from bandits once and for all. He took my items. We sail on a large freight boat. It serves as a bait for the bandits, who keep throwing themselves at it, only to find death. A death as inglorious as the life they've lived. From the time... I need to clear my throat. From time to time we manage to capture a prisoner while our inquisitor talks to them. I go to this stern, shutting my ears to their cries. I remind myself that these are scum, drenched in blood to the elbow. I think about our cause, freedom for my homeland, an independent trustland. But still my goosebumps rise with each pitiful cry. I must steel myself and be strong. Who is in your group? A paladin, a ranger, a sorceress, a priest, an inquisitor, and me, a fighter, all experienced combatants. Over and over we saved each other's lives in times of need. How was my trip? It was really nice. The weather was good and, well, as I said before, the museums, they were really great. Also the food was really good. And I went to Vienna and took 1 day trip to Bratislava. It is exhausting. I also slept like 8 to 9 hours every night. It was really tiring because I walked so much and I am not very fit still. But I think it was really good for me. But the museums, they were really worth it. Especially the... what was that museum's name? Was it like Anatomische und Pathologische Museum? Something like that. It was this round building and it had these exhibitions of different kinds of diseased body parts and explanations for them. Like what is this disease and some explanations about how it happens, when it happens, who it happens to. Yes, museums are nice. Especially art museums and, well, I guess they are like medical museums. Those that have like hands in jars and yeah. I think there was only that one though. But I have before been one such museum before in... It was in Edinburgh, I think, in Great Britain, Scotland. It was a bit different because it had a more historical like feel. It had more historical things there, not like scientific things. It was more like for scientific things that museum in Vienna. Storyteller, why do you question the prisoners? I hadn't been to Vienna yet. And it is a city with a lot of history and culture. And also I would like to travel more around Europe because, well, there are great museums everywhere. Also, the plane trip there was cheaper than most places, so that also was one of the reasons. So there are multiple reasons for that. What does the storyteller say? The bandits attacking our boat are small fry. We are looking for the main lair, a place known as the Drowned Trees. We seek the leader of the bandits, an underwater monster named Darkwood Droon. and we will not leave without his head. Neil, would you like to travel? Does that interest you at all? And if you did, where would you travel? Have there always been so many bandits in the stolen lands? This land swarms with them, and we meet them more often than common merchants. You see, we started a rumor that the Aldori sword lords are using this boat to sneak treasures out of the country. Now half the gangs in the area are hunting us. Please continue. At night, it seems a whole army is attacking our boat. Far too many for us to fend off, but luckily, we don't have to. While they battle monsters we've summoned in a pitch black magical darkness, we drink the potions we prepared and dive under the water. The scum break into the hold, but instead of treasure, they find their final surprise, the work of a Restovic alchemist, a trap, a dozen barrels of highly explosive oils. We watch from a safe distance as the boat is blown to pieces in a deafening explosion. Everything has gone according to plan. The more who die here, the fewer will meet in the drowned trees. We march through the forest, then camp to regain our strength. Their nest is close. Our Inquisitor discovered everything, even the location of their secret entrance. Today we rest. Tomorrow the Bandit King will draw his final breath. What kind of a secret entrance? An underwater path, winding along the swamp bottom. We had potions to breathe freely underwater. We couldn't see beyond our outstretched arms in the muddy water, and there were plenty of traps along the way. But the Inquisitor learned all the signs that marked the safe passage. At least we believed she did. Even if you sneak into the bandit camp unseen, how will you handle all of them? Each of us is worth 24 in battle. Besides, we are well prepared. Chaos, confusion, and summoned monsters will be on our side. And fire. A lot of fire. Please continue. We trudged through the muddy waters. Suddenly, a giant log studded with blades falls from above. I managed to stagger back, but the paladin who walked alongside me is now a gory sight, spread thin across the ground. Oh crap. The next moment, a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness, a twisted cross between fish and monkey. Its clawed hand reaches out, effortlessly melting away the Inquisitor's flesh, then ripping out her heart. This is the king of the bandits, Darko Drone. The bandit we captured did not lie, but the secret passage he spoke of led right into the underwater lair of his master. He sure has a long story. I think using my voice like that is not very good for my voice. I need to change it. I bury my terror deep in my soul. There was no time for weakness. There were only 4 of us left, and we are gasping for air by the time the freak's lifeblood stains the water. We leave the beheaded body on dry land, then retreat and recover. Only now I allow my hands to tremble, my breath to race unbidden, my tears to flow. What kind of a monster was this Darkwood Troon? They say he was once a normal human, but he offended a powerful fae. She cursed him, turning him into a monster, but one bestowed with the ability to breathe underwater and melt human flesh with his touch. With these powers, he became the Bandit King. Do you find anything useful in Darkwood's lair? Oh yes, the Bandit King was a true collector of magical items. We lost two of our friends, but what we found there would help us finish what we started. So the bandit wanted to set you up, but he played right into your hands. You could say so. Dargudrun didn't expect an armed party to appear there before him, but we too were unprepared for the encounter. The bandit's lie cost both sides dearly. Please continue. The next night we return the same way. We swim up to the surface and quietly gather our bearings. Above us loom the drowned trees, enormous dead trunks emerging from the water, bridges crisscrossing their branches. The air is filled with the sounds of battle. Having lost their king, the bandits now battle each other for power, and we are ready to join the fight. We leave at dawn. Behind us, smoke rises up to the sky. The bandit nest smolders and blazes. Only two of us remain, the priest and I. We've won, but this victory tastes of ash, cinders and swamp ooze. I ask him, "Tell me, Etswangi, was it worth it?" He puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Yes, Chamandi. Now the stolen lands will be ours." I wish I believed him. Chamandi, The storyteller heaves a sigh, runs his hand over his face and rubs his temples. Thus the expedition to the drowned trees came to an end. I must admit, it was no easy feeling for me to stand in the place of this daring woman. The steel of her soul was colder than ice. If Chamandi has once cleared the stolen lands of bandits, why must we do it all over again? The death of Darkudrun and destruction of the drowned trees weakened the bandits, but not for long. The paladin who died was a noble. It was he who was supposed to claim the stolen lands and send in his troops, while Chamandi sought another candidate or a priest capable of performing a resurrection ritual. A new bandit leader emerged. In the destroyed fortress on the bank of the Tuskwater. Within the year, the stolen lands were swarming with gangs once more. Wait, is this the story of Chamandi Aldori? But she's still alive. Some people become legends in their own lifetime. Chamandi has performed many glorious feats, and there may yet be more ahead. She must be very old. Thank you for the story, storyteller. Your stories are amazing. You make it sound as though you're actually there in the moment. The storyteller nods. I gained this gift after I lost my eyes. When I touch relics, I can feel the thoughts and emotions of those who previously owned them. If the emotions are strong enough, I can even see the events that left those impressions. Could you tell me one of your stories again? It would be my pleasure. Which of my stories calls to you? I don't want to hear it again right now. On second thought, I'd like to ask you about something else. Remind me what it is you want from me. In your travels, pay special attention to items from ancient eras. There must be an abundance of such things throughout the stolen lands. For these lands remember stories of the rise and fall of many kingdoms. Okay. I saw that already. I'll leave you to your legends till we meet again. The storyteller doesn't answer, his unseeing eyes staring ahead blankly. He's a total NPC. Well, he is an NPC, but still. There's a kitty. That's not tiger, but it's a kitty. There's a door. I should use that door. I want to know what's there. Is this my bedroom? I have such a fancy bedroom. I don't think I need to sleep. What's that? Flail. Well, I'm taking it. I don't think I need it, but still. How weird. I don't think I need to rest. Yeah. Where do we find a treasurer? Can we find one here? I haven't been traveling around my own barony alone, only with Kesten. Storms and bad weather greatly affect the game world.
Hello, my savior. You asked if we'd meet again, and here I am.
Yes, you are. Why did you have to appear right now?
I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power?
Well, I guess.
I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. The shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lady, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you.
She wants me alone. A nymph's reward. I need to flirt with her. I don't need any reward. Seeing you is the best reward for me.
Then come to my chamber and be my guest. We'll share stories and laughter, imagine the future, and dream. So long, I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter snow.
No, don't go. Just reward. This is my city, I guess. Who is Hassuf? Verdel. Citizen. Is that where I came from? Where did I come from? Isn't my... I don't know. What is this weird statue? Why? And what's that? Verdel. A young dwarf, red-haired, neat and surprisingly clean-shaven, stands leaning against a sledgehammer. He's busy reading some book, but as you approach, he looks up and bows slightly. Greetings, Your Grace. I am Verdel, a blacksmith. What can I do to help you? You look a little unusual for a dwarf. Verdel sighs and runs his fingers through his hair. You expect to see a bird. Bird? Huh. No offense, but what's the point of a bird? Especially when you're a blacksmith and working with fire. Makes sense, yeah. You burn it once, dip it in the lightning oil and catch a spark from the forge, and your bird is history. You're better off without a one. Makes sense. What are you reading? Wordle looks a little confused. Well, different things. It's nice to take a rest with a good book. Just now it's Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Villa Skanderson in Absalom. I see. Tell me about yourself. He's my citizen. What is there to tell, Your Grace? I'm a blacksmith. My father was a blacksmith, my grandfather was a blacksmith, and his grandfather too. Besides, every one of them were remarkably fertile, so I have plenty of cousins, second cousins, third cousins, and all of them are blacksmiths too. Pretty much all the weapons in my Mivon were forged by someone from our family. That's why I moved away from the old home grounds. My skills are more useful here, that's for sure. Yeah, if everybody is a blacksmith. I'd like to see your goods. As your grace wishes. He has just these boring things. Take these. Should I just sell these things? I don't think I have anyone who would use them. I'm just selling them. I'll find new ones, maybe. Or buy. They are so heavy. What about this? Leather armor. Scale mail. I don't have all the necklace fragments. Yet. Masterwork, elven curved blade. How fancy. Cold iron breaker. Well, maybe I should buy some weapons from him. What about this Hassaf? You see a dark-skinned, wiry man with a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. With a weather-beaten face and a happy smile on his face. He is dressed luxuriously, and his dark hair and neat moustache are exquisitely coiffured. The man bows to you, spreading his arms a little. Hassaf from Absalom is happy to welcome you, Your Grace. Come, take a look at the best wares we traveling merchants have to offer. Please, come, take a look. Tell me about yourself. My pleasure, Your Grace. The merchant smooches his moustache and commences his story, with an air of importance, speaking in a sonorous voice, gesturing widely. Hassaf's family was not rich, and he, as many in Absalom, had to start from the very bottom. As a child, while his peers chased pigeons and stole apples at the market, he worked at a tannery. Oh, I can still smell the disgusting stench. The man pulls out a heavily perfumed handkerchief and waves it in the air. Well, the young apprentice worked hard and saved every coin and soon managed to purchase that tannery from his former master. Then, as soon as he had enough money, he opened his own trading agency. After 10 years, countless deals, and many tours in his caravan, Hasuf was one of the most successful merchants in Absalom, thus writing his name indelibly in the history of the great city. So, what does a great merchant like that do in my new little place? The merchant looks at you with pleasure. Well, how was that? I'm looking for a writer so I can dictate my memoirs. Haha, I think many would find it interesting and useful to learn more about me. He's so full of himself. Just like me. So, what is the secret of your success, Hasuf? Hasuf? Is it Hasuf or Hasaf? Who knows? There is no secret. Perseverance, strength of character, attention to detail, the gift of persuasion, charm. All this, among many other things, are key to success in my profession. But if I did have a secret, who would I be to share it with anyone? The merchant laughs merrily, his hands rubbing his sides. Why did you leave Absalom, the center of the global trade, for some young barony in the stolen lands? It is a very good question. This is a long story. I don't think your grace would be interested. Come. Tell me why you left Absalom. I insist. The merchant groans theatrically. Oh, very well, as you wish, your grace. It was about a woman. When I was still young, I fell in love with a daughter of a judge, an important person in Absalom. For many years I tried to win her heart, but she was cold as stone. I should have given up, but this is not in my character. In the end, I did manage to win her love, but I was unready for it. Hasuf swallows and rubs the back of his head. As Abadar is my witness, the flames of hell burn inside this woman. I could not live with her for even 6 months. Tenderness and passion one day, screaming and scandal the next. Sometimes she would break into my office during business meetings to make a jealous scene, and sometimes pulled me by my collar from the finest taverns in town. I couldn't sleep. I was nervous all the time, and it started to affect my business. I realized there was nothing else to do but run. Leaving her and remaining in the city would be impossible, even in such a city as Absalom. Is she coming after you? I decided never to return, and I still fear that wildcat of a woman will follow my trail. Hasuf stops talking and stares into space without blinking. Although, sometimes after a couple of jars of wine I still remember her. Perhaps it was I who unleashed this tornado in her. If somehow I'd behaved differently. Well, let's see what you have. That's a nice shield. Ring of Plentiful Hunts. +2. That's better than what I have, I think. I have only +1. That's nice. Maybe it's because of level up or because of the place. Eyes of the Eagle. Lesser phylactery of positive channeling. Phylactery. Those are like... Those make me think of necromancers or maybe like... Dragon Age? Didn't the mages there have phylacteries? Those tower mages. Cloak of Shadows. That would be nice for my... Wait, what's your name? Octavia. But they are so expensive. Bag of holding! I want that. And there's those build points. Do I have enough money? I don't have enough money for that. What do I need to sell so that I have enough? Let's see. Christian Harem. No, I'm not going to use this so I can sell it. Remove curse. Why do I have 2 of these? Why are they not stacking? And why are they so expensive? Two of them. Restoration. That's really useful. Resist cold, resist acid. Those are things that I will never remember to use, I think. Invisibility. Chocolate. In Vienna I tried the Sacher cake. It was delicious, as they say. But... there were a couple of things that would have made it even more perfect. If the topping layer would have been a little bit softer, it would have been more pleasant to like cut into. And also the insides could have been more moist. I don't think I'm going to use that spell. I'm not sure I could use that. I don't have enough money. This is not good. I'll sell one of these. But that's still not enough. I need like... I need so much more. Even if I sold like... all the good things, I guess I wouldn't. I guess I wouldn't be able to get that. Still like 1,000 more. $600. Still invisibility. I'll just use it. Chocolate? I'm not selling my chocolate. I like chocolate. Wine. In Vienna there was also a lot of wine there. I didn't drink much of it. I'm not much of a drinker. And I'm not even drinking hot chocolate or tea or anything. Just water right now because it's so hot. Too hot for hot chocolate. These are so heavy. Port and ale. Why do I have these? Local alcoholic beverage. Do I need this for anything? Are they even used in cooking? Edible moss, Camping supplies. Still like 100. A merchant would pay well for it. I wish they would. But they don't pay very well for it. Just a little bit. I have that much meat. I think I should sell some of that meat. Okay, now I'm getting closer. Is there anything else that I have an overabundance? Potion of Shield of Faith. Why do I have these potions? Still some more. Fowl. Potatoes. Scroll of Banish, Gracelessness, Shocking Grasp, Reduce Person Enfeeblement, Protection from Blood, Divine Favor, Scroll of Doom, Mage Armor, Mage Armor. What's the difference between these two? I don't know. Rice. Maybe I'll sell some more meat. I think I can get more of it. Now I can do it. Now I can get my second pack of holding. Yes, I have 2 bags of holding. I hope. Yes. Small. Oh, it's a small one and it's a normal sized one. No wonder it was so expensive. Dinosaur bones. Used for certain spells. Ah, I see. That's why the diamond dust is here like that. Who is that? What a weird fellow. Says the lady with the glowing halo. The tiefling girl looks as though she is made of springs. She cannot stand still for a moment. She nods her head, snaps her fingers, and taps her feet to an inner whirling song. Seeing you, she quickly waves her hand and breaks into a wide smile, and immediately starts jabbering. Your Grace, welcome. What do you want? Scrolls? I have them. You won't regret it. My suppliers bring more scrolls for sale if you manage to attract more mages to your lands. More mages, more demand, and more goodies for you. So go build them libraries and we'll both profit from it. Libraries. Sounds good. Who are you? Saki the leather cobbler at your service. The girl bows with a wide smile. Best spells, charms, jinxes, and hexes for the best baroness across all the river kingdoms. Buy it all and don't be stingy. You won't regret it. Where do your goods come from? It's a family business. I got siblings across all Mendev. They pinch every. I mean, they're very creative suppliers. And I sell it all. Get it now? Don't hesitate. My goodies are great. I see. So she's selling stolen things. Well, that's fitting. We are in the stolen lands. Could you perhaps speak a bit more quietly, not quietly, slowly? Sure, as you wish. Show me your wares. Stunning barrier, Wind of Days. Well, I don't have anything to sell. There's a citizen. What else do I have? More citizens. How do I have so many citizens already? I don't get it. Is this my house? I don't know. Look at that. I think there are way more houses now. Or are there? And that looks like a graveyard. Nice. Oh, look, it's Harim. Harim pulls his bird, muttering something that could be either prayers or curses. Upon noticing you, he winces. Wait, I need to save the game. I haven't done it. What? Oh, it's you, Larkium. Did I startle you? I'm sorry. Oh no, that doesn't matter. I was just contemplating the futility of existence and the worthlessness of the universe. The ways of Groethus are great. My humble mortal mind cannot fully grasp them, but I do what I can. Harim smiles apologetically. Tell me about your past. My life is divided into 2 parts. The first was filled with blind wandering, doubts and attempts to serve Thorak. The second part began when I accepted Croethus into my soul and received a clear vision of the world. What exactly would you like to know? Father of creation. You once tried to serve Thorak? Not just tried, it was a burning passion. I craved it day and dreamt of it at night. Harim shakes his head, as if amazed by his own stupidity. You see, Lakium, from my first days I felt the presence of the god at my back. I heard his whispers and felt his power, though the nature of this power was unclear to me. I thought Thorak himself was trying to speak to me, and I did all I could to understand his words. Oh, what a naive fool I was. I had no idea that Thorak, that uncompromising, conceited god, glamorized by all dwarves, was capable of betrayal. He turned away from me, Lakium. He left me in the hour when I put all my hopes in him and desperately needed his support. Thorak is the god of craftsmanship, so every follower, especially the clerics, must smith their own suit of armor. The day when this work is finished is like the second birthday for a dwarf. He is newly born in the eyes of Thorak. Harim sighs heavily and falls silent for a time. My second birthday never came. I couldn't make armor, not even a sword, not even a simple nail. My hammer smashed my fingers and fell onto my feet. Molten iron burned my hands. The clerics laughed as they healed me. They used to say I was cursed by Thorak. So finally I gave up any attempt to please the betrayer god. Poor thing, so he was so clumsy. Even if Thorak really has rejected you, is that enough reason to leave your homeland? You don't know much about dwarves. Harim lets out a sad sigh. How can a dwarf cursed by Thorak go on living in a city where every single soul bows to Thorak? I was alone, disgraced, humiliated, insulted. A lone tear glints in the light before sliding down Harim's cheek and hiding in his beard. Poor Harim. I was trying to drown my sorrows in drink, but even the owner of the cheapest pub on the road would laugh at me while he put those mugs in front of me. I couldn't take it any longer. I wanted everything to end. But there was one thing that kept me going and prevented me from ending my life. I could still hear that divine whisper behind my back. It was yet faint. It took a long time before I could hear it clearly, but having heard it once, I could never forget it. It was clear that none of Larad's deities favored me, so I left the Five Kings Mountains and went out searching. So you are from the Five Kings Mountains? My life story began in Larad, a city of dwarven clerics and acolytes. They serve Thorak and the other dwarven gods, Thorak's brothers, Angrad and Magrim, Thorak's wife, Folgrid, his daughter, Volka, his sons, Grundinar, Kols and Trud, and also Thorak's sister, Dragonwit. Drangwit. Drangwit? Is that Drangwit? Harim curves his lips in contempt. I wouldn't be surprised if they built a temple to Thorak's pet dog. Sorry, I let myself get carried away. Harim sighs and pulls his beard several times. Larad is the second largest dwarven city in the Five Kings Mountains. It's built up around numerous temple caverns, which serve as places of worship for all the dwarven gods. Many pilgrims from every corner of Golarion come to Larad to pray their gods. Some remain to live there. The city is simply imbued with faith. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a cleric. It's no surprise, inspired by the aura of the city, that I decided as a young boy to dedicate all my efforts to becoming a cleric of Torag. Ah, but now you are serving Croetus. I didn't think dwarves ever worshipped Croetus. How did you learn about him? Oh, but that blessed day became the beginning of a new life. Alone and abandoned by all, I spent many dull hours in a filthy tavern by the roadside. I don't recall the town, nor even the country. I had no money. In fact, all I had was a hunk of stale bread. I was weary and almost fainting from hunger. And that was the moment when the whisper from my God became more clear. It was like he was calling me. At last, my sufferings had come to an end. It was a miracle, Larkium, and I had paid full price for it with my torments. I couldn't control myself. I walked out of the tavern and straight into the nearest forest, and there I found the ruined temple of Aroden. Aroden. Raise the starstone from the bottom of inner sea. The lost god. Several figures clad in robes were holding a silent service there, a service to a god I knew nothing of. None minded when I stood beside them. For the first time in my life, I felt myself at home. My new brothers told me that they were clerics of Croetus, the god of end times. They were traveling around Golarion, spreading the teachings of Croetus despite all the persecution, contempt, and misjudgment they received from others. I gladly shared this burden with them, for now I knew those whose voice had whispered to me through all those years. Wait, you couldn't make even a simple nail and you blamed Thorak? Are you suggesting that my problem was not a curse, just my own inability to work with metal? Or maybe you're saying that I was just too lazy? Harim looks into your eyes defiantly, his hands trembling with suppressed rage as he runs his fingers over his beard. You're a fool if you think so. An ignorant fool. Have you ever met a dwarf who can't handle a smith's hammer? Even our children craft knives. No, no, no. Torag is the cause of my sufferings. The betrayer god deliberately cursed me, just to make a laughingstock of me. Harim raises his hand and shakes his fist at someone above. But I won't let myself to get angry at you, Lakium. You're an ignorant and blind soul, and my aim is to guide you through this dying world that marches towards its end. I will open your eyes or die trying. Croetus will be pleased by either outcome. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. He didn't like it. Let's talk about something else. I'd like to learn more about dwarves. Most dwarves are self-satisfied, stubborn fools serving Torag. They don't deserve my good attitude, Harim winces. But you can ask what you want to know. I'll try to answer. Tell me about the Five Kings Mountains. Did Woden The Dwarven Kingdom, yes. Well, it's to the south from here. It survived many trials, and there will be more yet to come. Harim strokes his bird, contemplating. There is no unity among the dwarves, Lakium. The 5 kings rule over our people. They sit on the thrones of the 5 greatest cities, and with every passing day it grows harder for them to come to any agreement. The only thing uniting the 5 kings' mountains is the sky citadel of High Helm, the great dwarven fortress at the mountain's heart. Tell me about the sky citadels. Oh, they are the peaks of creation, glorious cities built by the ancient dwarves who'd finally reached the surface after many hardships, performing the final labor in their quest for the sky on the surface of Golarion. Harim's eyes glitter with admiration. They are steadfast, tall, magnificent. They are beautiful. The 10 citadels were built by dwarves, but we managed to keep only a few. The citadels crumbled, and the orcs, sworn enemies of our people, trampled their blessed streets and ruined the gorgeous palaces of the ancient kings. Harim's eyes grow misty with tears. These were heavy losses, and a disgrace to our people, Lakio. High Helm is the jewel of the citadels that remain. It is located in the heart of the mountains, and the heart of every dwarf. Yes, yes, my heart too. There is a dwarven saying that if an enemy reaches High Helm, every dwarf from all corners of the world will come to defend it. Harim casts a sad glance at you. I'd be there too, but not to help the Citadel's defenders. I'd be there to witness the fall of our people with my own eyes and mourn it. I would fall upon the cold stone and raise my final prayers to Croetus. Have dwarves always lived on the surface? Oh no, eons ago all dwarves lived deep beneath the surface, and they did rather well, judging by the historic records. They built fortresses, like Dwarf Fortress game. They built fortresses befitting noble dwarves, but our restless god, Torak, sent us a prophecy, the quest for the sky. He ordered all the dwarves to abandon their fortresses and press upwards to show their birds to the sun, as they say. The journey was long and bloody. Many dwarves perished on the way. Others turned back, keeping to the ancient strongholds, eventually to turn into evil Dwarkar, grey dwarves. But those who survived reached the surface and founded the Sky Citadels, the most glorious cities in dwarven history. I have some other questions. What else would you like me to tell you, Lakium? I would like to talk about your god, Croetus. You wish to learn about Croetus? Harim seems surprised and pleased at the same time. Yes, of course. I will answer anything you ask. So, what are Croetus' teachings about in a nutshell? Croetus is the end of all that exists. Harim smiles. He's obviously been waiting for this question. Look around, Lakium. What do you see? Look again and realize that everything will be destroyed. Our clothing and our armor will turn to dust. The walls of the palaces will crumble into ruins, the trees will fall, and you and I will die much sooner than that. Lovely. Croetus is a timeless watcher. He's been locked away by Pharasma, the goddess of rebirth. From her boneyard he watches over the world, knowing the time of the final reaping shall come. He is the bloated moon hanging in the sky. He is the harbinger of the last days. He is the one who will stay when all others are gone. Pharasma has Croetus locked in her boneyard, so she is stronger than Croetus. Of course she's stronger. For now, Harry nods with dignity, stroking his bird. Croetus is weaker than Pharasma and many other gods. I would be a fool if I tried to claim otherwise. If Croetus were stronger, the end times would already have come, wouldn't they? Oh. But the powers of other gods fade away. They dissolve slowly, a grain in a century. Croetus collects those grains and waits. He doesn't need to hurry. He knows that his time shall come. Usually clerics can speak with their gods. What does Croetus say to you? What is his will? Harim shakes his head in resignation. Croetus doesn't speak to his clerics. Actually, Croetus doesn't need any clerics. The dwarf raises his sad eyes to you. He only allows his whispers to be heard, and only by those who are dying to hear them. His words are unclear, but they call to you. His voice comes with the soft rustle of fallen leaves, with the woeful wailing wind at the mountain pass, with the roar of the raging blizzard, and it calls to you to strike out on the road, onwards, always onwards, over the pass, over the bridge and further along, up ahead, where the edge of a grey robe flashed, and a candle sputtered from the last time before dying, onwards, always onwards, until your feet can no longer carry you. Harry falls silent, submerged in his own thoughts. Thanks for telling me about Croetus. I've learned enough for now. Then let me ask you, what do you think about Croetus? What do I think about Croetus? Well, I like your tales. There's an inner truth to them. A broad smile spreads across Harry's face. I'm glad you think like that. We'll bring this truth to the whole world and tell everyone that the end is inevitable. As if they don't know. Have you ever regretted your decision to abandon Turak and start worshipping Croetus instead? Your question might seem offensive, Larkium, but I am not offended. I realize you ask it because you wish to learn more about Croetus. Harry squeezes his bird in his fist, but in a moment he lets it free again. Turak betrayed me, Larkium. All he's ever done was look down with contempt on all my futile efforts to please him. I crafted armor plates, but they fell apart with a single strike of a fist. I smithed swords, but they broke at the hilt. Turak's priests used to say that such failures were the curse of the uncompromising deity. Harry's fingers grab his bird with such force that it seems he'll tear a handful of hair out of it. Also, if it was not just his ceremonial whatever he was doing, his own ceremonial armor for his second birthday or whatever that was. Then it doesn't seem like a curse. It seems like he just couldn't do it. He's just clumsy that way. It was Croetus who opened my eyes. He showed me that failure is a manifestation of his will. The end time is near, Lakium, and every failure is just another step towards it. Turak's curse is only half the reason for my failure. The other half is the blessing of Croetus, which I have borne from early childhood. Harry smiles warmly at his thoughts. So, the short answer to your question is no. I have never regretted opening my soul to Croetus. From what I've heard, Croetus doesn't spare the minds of his clerics. They all go insane eventually. Is that true? Huh! Who told you that? I'd like to look that slanderer in the eye. Harry bursts into laughter, but you can't understand what's so funny. You see, Lakium, sanity is quite a relative concept. So he's already insane, I guess. Harry says as his laughter recedes. Each of us is certain that he's the sanest creature in the world. Meanwhile, we periodically doubt the sanity of others. So, what happens if 2 or 3 people claim that someone else is insane? Does that make it true? Perhaps the accusers have lost their minds themselves. The longer a cleric listens to the whispers of Croetus, the better he comprehends the essence of his designs, and the deeper his understanding becomes. When enlightenment comes, the mind of a cleric ascends to a new level of understanding, which is inaccessible to simpler souls. Is this insanity? This is for you to decide, Lakium. My decision was made long ago. When I reach enlightenment, I'll accept it with joy and delight. Your eagerness is commendable. Harry smiles broadly. I'm glad you noticed it. I dream that Croetus will someday notice my eagerness too. Are you sure you want to see the dwarven ruins? Why open up old wounds? Harry looks down and strokes his bird a few times before answering. I'm not sure, Lakium. This will likely bring nothing but pain. I suspect I will regret going to the ruins, but nevertheless I ask, please take me there. Okay. Thanks for the conversation. We'll talk later. Harry nods with dignity. I'll be happy to continue our conversation later. Now I got to speak with Harry. Good day, Your Grace. It's me, Your Grace. So graceful. Wait, that's something. It was treasure that can be sold or given to somebody. Oh, look at the time. Wait, what's that? But the time is like... I need to stop streaming soon. Old prison that's used... Cheeks! Horses. How cute. But yeah... Oh, there's Christian and George. And someplace. Let's go to that someplace. It is somebody's home. What's in there? I think that citizen might need them. Although he looks a bit drunk. Maybe he wouldn't notice if I took them. Nah. There's a dog! But why can't I talk to the dog? And is that like a tavern sign? What the? I'll just make a little round around here and then I'm going to finish up for the day. Mystical arsenal. And a citizen, and there's a tavern, and there's a doggy. So cute. Did you know that the dogs in dogs traveling by the metro in Vienna need to wear muzzles? That was interesting. There's a book. You can keep your little things. I just want books. It's locked! Damn it. My citizens had locked the chest so that their baroness can't come and take their money and stuff. Is that a smithy? I think that's a smithy. It looks like it's closed, maybe. I have such weird looking citizens. Am I racist when I think that? There's a rat. So many horses. Nope, haven't watched the Mad Max movie. Haven't watched any Mad Max movies. Is this another house? There is nothing here. Why, have you? Any good? What's this? There's meat. Tenderloin. Okay, so the newest Mad Max movie. Nope, haven't seen it. I just returned home a couple of days ago. Fruits. Nice. Okay. I have done a little round. Why are they building a statue like this here? That I don't know. What nice citizens, they just come here and bow at me. But I think I haven't saved the game like at all today. But now I have. Just when it's time to quit. Yeah. I'm not very keen on going to the movies. And I will be very busy. next week, most of the week. I think I probably can't stream at all next week, but I will this weekend. Yeah, it would have been a pain to go through all those dialogues. But at least it was just dialogues. But yeah. I will be streaming again on, well, Saturday or Sunday. It has some autosave, but autosaves are not reliable. And next week I will have to go on another trip because of work. So, but I will be streaming this weekend again, and not next week. So it is end time, and is nigh. It was nice to see you here again, and it was nice. Yep. Bye bye.